Alrighty, guys, Madman Mondello coming at you live from the Garden Garage here in beautiful Alabama. You guys miss me? Anyway, alright. Okay. A little while ago, Mr. Willis Poe, he decided that he wanted to go ahead and what he wanted was to send me an original Xbox. Now, this started out, I was figuring, he wanted an RGH and Xbox, and he's like, I got a fat model. I'm like, okay, cool. So he sends it in, okay, right? And I'm like, going like, okay. It comes in the box, and it's a fat model, all right. An original fat model, okay. So I was like going like, Willis, this is not a 360. This is, and he's like, well, I kind of thought that I was like, no, I didn't, okay, no. But anyway, okay, making a long story short, okay, he wanted an original Xbox to be modded, okay. Now, I'm like, all right. So he sends it in, all right, and this thing, it's a 1.2 version, okay? It's a 2003 model, okay? So it's 1.2, which means you can Tsop flash it, which is really cool. You don't need a mod chip or anything like that. You just got to soft mod it and then flash the Tsop on it, and then you can remove everything from the hard drive, and it'll still boot to the dashboard, and everything's fine and dandy. So anyway, we went ahead, okay, and this stuff, finding the files and everything. Now, mind you, I have many hard drives, okay? And trying to find all the stuff to softmod this thing go over, it's like, Jesus Christ, help me God. But I found everything, all right? And the good old splinter cell trick, okay? And this little puppy right here, okay, which you see, yes, big help, all right? So, went ahead and we softmodded it, all right? Then what I did was I soldered 2 points on the motherboard, and we went ahead and then I was able to Tsop flash it. And this, of course, had Winbond memory, just like every freaking thing else that has freaking Winbond memory. Because like, oh no, that can't have the normal one. No, it's gonna have Winbond. So anyway, we flashed IND BIOS to it. Okay, 5.004, and got it all done. All right. Then of course, we have the original Xbox hard drive, which happens to be a Seagate, like that. This is like a whole, 8 gig or whatever it is. That's about it. And I'm like going like, yeah, we do a lot with this, all right. So we ripped that out of there, and I got the conversion kit for, converting it over to a SATA 2 terabyte drive, as you can see. All right. And of course, we're using an 80-pin cable. All right. And, modded it, did all that. Now, mind you, of course, I don't have a master, so I had to build this drive from scratch, okay? So anyway, it's all done. All right, now, a lot of people look at these things. This is the old original Gangster model, okay? However, though, when it's modded, it's a pretty awesome little machine, okay? As Modern Vintage Gamer always pointed out and everything. It is a hell of an emulation machine, okay? For what it is, a 733 Pentium, all right? With very little memory, it runs really awesome stuff. So what I did was, of course, I used the Hexen disc, and we went ahead. We put all tools on it, everything that we needed. All right, and then what I did was I grabbed hold of Rocky V's Emunation station. Okay, now if you're not familiar with Rocky V, he went ahead. Now you have XBMC for gamers, okay, which is basically XBMC, but it's for the game format and everything. All right, which is cool. All right, but I'm kind of fond of Emunation Station because it's got a lot of stuff that's already built in. It's really decent. The only problem is the path files, it'll drive you crazy, okay? When you first set it up, it can drive you freaking nuts if you don't know what you're doing. And believe me, trying to remember how to put everything where, how, who was like, oh my God, this Linux file system is completely archaic. But anyway, we went ahead, we put that on there. Okay, I got it all done. We're going to boot the console right now, okay? Now, mind you, this monitor sucks, okay? I'm using an upscale. I'm using a pound upscale on this thing for HDMI, okay? So then that way then, we can go to 720p, okay? Now, as you can see, we got in BIOS, okay? Now, all right, this thing is going to boot automatically up to Emunation Station because I set that up as the dashboard itself. All right, now you can still get to Unleash X and all that. That's all still on there, okay? In fact, there's a ton of applications on there and everything. However, though, I wanted to keep it simple, so I went ahead and I installed Emunation Station right here. Okay, now as you can see, all right, we have Emunation Station. Now, this is just like Emulation Station for the Raspberry Pi, except this is for the Xbox. Now, as you can see, it's already 2600. There's 630 games there. Okay? And yes, I loaded this drive by hand. Okay? You know, I mean, through FTP, which is a... So anyway, as you can see, we got all kinds of, you know, I mean, we've got everything. And it's got all the artwork in it and everything else. Okay? The 7800, I haven't loaded any games on that yet. We have Daphne, because what would be an emulator without Daphne? Okay, you gotta have Daphne. You gotta have Cliffhanger. You gotta have Dragon's Lair and all that stuff. I mean, you know, otherwise it's just, what good is it? Okay? Then, of course, we got Final Burn Legends. Okay, there's 3,989 emulation games on there. Okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab hold of that. Now, this takes a second here for it to pull up. And then it'll grab everything. There it is, okay? And, of course, as you can see, you know, over 3,000 games. I mean, it's, and they play, every single one of them plays, okay? You know, and you got all the artwork and everything, it's all right there, okay? Now, Final Burn consoles, that's for Neo Geo, okay? Now, if you're familiar with Neo Geo, which has been around in Japanese, you know, gaming system, all right, as you can see, we have all the ROMs on there, also with all of the artwork and title work and every freaking thing else under the sun, okay? You know, so on and so forth. Neo Geo is very, very cool. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good games on there. All right. Then we have Game Boy Advance. Okay, we got 1,030 games on there. All right. I was gonna put the PSX emulator on there, but yeah, I gotta get back to doing RGHs because I got customers waiting, and this thing is not fully done yet because I got a lot more to transfer on here. But as you can see, we got Game Boy Advance. Okay, all the artwork, it all works. Okay. Then you got Sega Master System. Yeah, there's 271 games on there as well. Okay, as you can see, with all the artwork. And then, of course, we got Mega Drive, which is Japan. Okay. And as you can see, all of our artwork is all there, too. All right. And, I mean, you've got a ton of games on there as well. And, like I said, it's a hell of an emulation machine. This thing is it's crazy. Then, of course, you got Nintendo 64. Now, of course, I went ahead and there's a guy by the name of Earthworm Jim. Okay, Earthworm Jim repacked these things for Nintendo 64 using HLE. Okay, and you know, for the video and everything, and it's really, I mean, it really does work pretty well. As you can see, we got all kinds of good stuff here, and all the artwork is there. Okay, as you can see, it's crazy. All right. Then you got Neo Geo CD. Now you can launch that, and if you have an original Neo Geo CD, you can put it in here and it'll play. All right. You got Nintendo system. That's got 781 games on it available, okay? Now, as you can see, there's a good old Nintendo system, okay, that we all grew up, well, some of us did anyway. I know I did, okay? So, and there's all the ROMs, everything that you could want. There it all is, okay? Now, we'll go ahead, we'll back out of there, all right? PlayStation. Now, I don't have anything on there yet because you have to convert the CHDs to an ISO file in order for them to pull up, okay? So, of course, I have to do that, okay? Sega Sega CD, Sega, same thing. Okay, I've got to convert them from CHD to bin files. Okay, Super Nintendo, 784 games available. There you go. All right, so you have Super Nintendo on this damn thing, and yes, it all plays too. And it goes all the way down. As you can see, 10,000 games later. Okay, if you get bored with this thing, I don't know, man. Okay, you know, I mean, it's got everything. Okay, so there you go. And then, of course, we have Xbox games. Now, do you know how big an Xbox game, an original Xbox game is? Does anybody have any idea how big an original Xbox game is? Usually 4, 5, 6, you know, so on. 1.6 Xbox, no power. That could be the power supply. You could have got one of those fried power supplies. Hey, Mike, how are you, man? Good to see you. But, you know, I mean, like I said, though, you know, these things are like, some of them are 4, 5, 6 gig, you know, I mean, but we got some on there because I got 4 terabytes full of original Xbox games, as you can see, okay? You have all the good stuff. It's all here, every single bit of it, and then some, okay? And, you know, I got 120 games on there right now. It's going to be a lot more, all right? You know, I mean, so on and so forth, okay? And then, of course, you've got your options where you can check out your system information, all that kind of good stuff, like here, all right? You got CPU temperature, she's happy, 130, you know, fan speed 34%. Hard disk information, As you can see, not locked, okay? Because soft modding sucks, okay? Yeah, soft modding is okay, but it's kind of like sex, you know, with a condom, all right? You know, you can't have the condom, okay? It just doesn't feel the same. DVD-ROM, okay? Storage information, you know, you got Thompson DVD, of course, okay? Storage information, there's all your storage right there, okay? And if you notice, you have two partitions here that are huge. Well, that's that 2 terabyte right there, okay? And I'm going to explain that in a minute. Okay, of course, your network information, video information. Right now, we're running at 720p, okay? Hardware information, okay? Xbox version 1.2/1.3, as you can see. CPU speed 731.36. Now, I can speed that up with an overclock feature, but I don't want to do that because the original Xbox games will not play on it. You know, act like a complete moron. I don't want to do that, okay? So, you know, there you go. And, of course, it doesn't have a mod chip. Like I said, it's Tsop flashed. So there is no mod chip on this damn thing. It's just flashed. All right? You know, now the thing about this here is it's very modular. That's why I like this, okay? As you can see, you can go to application. You can download all these applications, which I already did, okay? Artwork downloading for all of your artwork, for your games or whatever. If you have games on there that don't have artwork, well, it helps, okay? Dashboards, any kind of dashboard you want, it's all right there, okay? And you can download them, put them on there, whatever you want to do, okay? Back out of here. Whoop, didn't mean to do that, dang it. There we go. You got downloadable content, okay, for your downloadable content for your games. Yes, they got that right there too, okay? That can all be downloaded. Emulators, that's to install emulators. Ones that they don't have on here, well, you have to get them from the internet, and then you have to place them on there, and some of them are really tricky to get them working, okay? Homebrew, okay? This is all your homebrew stuff that guys have built over the years for this thing, and then, I mean, there's a ton on there, okay? Then you got your mods, okay? That's for modding stuff and everything, okay? Richard Burns Rally mod, you know, 512 by 512 textures, you know, Punisher uncensored, okay? Motherfucker, I'll kill you, okay? Then of course you got other game trainers, you know, cache formatter, so on and so forth. Themes, they got a bunch of themes for this thing too, okay? And updates where you can, you know, you can check and see if there's any updates or anything like that from Rocky, and he'll do it. Now his latest one is the latest one that we got right here is 1.3.019, okay? And he's done some work to this thing too that he did, and I mean, because there was a lot of stuff that was really hacky to get it to work and everything. Well, this one, it works really good, okay? So, you know, I mean, like I said, you got everything that you can set up, you know, I mean, your system, okay, general video output, you know, audio output, LCD, yes, it does the LCD screen, all that crap, you know, I mean, so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff on there, okay? You know, I mean, but it makes it simpler having a menu like this because then you just go ahead and go off. Now, mind you, you can FTP stuff into this thing, okay? If you look at the file manager right here, okay? See? Look, here you go. There's 859.9 gigabytes left on this, and on G drive, that's where your games are for your Xbox, as you can see. There's 627. Still got a ways to go, all right? But as you can see, it's all split up real nice. I got this all split up into 1 terabyte partitions. I got 2 of them on there, okay? And, well, they're close to 1 terabyte, all right? And, you know, they were formatted in 64K clusters with no errors, okay? According to XB 1.3 partitioner, because I didn't want to do it in 16K clusters, right? I wanted 64. So, you know, I got that, and we got that all squared away, all right? Anyway, it's a really, really awesome little machine to play. Now, Daphne, that's another one. A lot of people, if you go look on the internet and look up Daphne, you'll see all kinds of questions from people. How do I get this working? Because a lot of people can't get it working, okay? I did, in a kind of a hacky way, but it does work, okay? What I did is I went ahead, because the ROMs are, you have to extract them, okay? And those are the actual ROM files that make the system be able to play, okay? And what happens is they're all manually, and it turns into a mess. Now, this is Daphne, and what I did was I renamed the zip file, and I called it Daphne Loader, okay? So when you click on this, Daphne will come up, and you'll see Daphne Loader. That's it, okay? The games are within Daphne, because Daphne has to be run almost like standalone, okay? It's in its own emulation folder and everything. You know, it can't swap back and forth like that. So, you know, I mean, when you load this, okay, what it's going to do is this thing is going to go ahead and it's going to load up Daphne, okay, and then you'll see what's available to play. Okay, now if you remember the old Laserdisc games from back in 1983, 84, you know, the old games, all right, the really old stand-up arcade games. As you can see, Astron Belt, Cliffhanger, Super Don Quixote, Esh Amarilla, Mach 3, Us versus Them, so on. These are the games that are available on this thing, okay? And I got a bunch more, but, you know, I mean, just for all intents and purposes, I wanted to show you this, you know, because here it is and it's running on this thing, okay? Now, wide menu setup, as you can see, okay, here are all the games. Now, mind you, okay, if you turn one of these on and it comes up and you click on it, well, if the ROM isn't there, it ain't going to load, okay? It's going to sit there and complain, give you all kinds of freaking errors and everything else under the sun, okay? So you don't want to do that, okay? But, tell you what, for right now, we'll go ahead, I'll tell you what, we'll fire up Dragon's Lair, which is like one of the old-time favorites that a lot of people still play. I mean, I don't get it why, but they do. And this was the game. This was a game that I grew up on with quarters, sitting at the local arcade, having a blast. Okay, so of course it's a Laserdisc game, so it takes a minute for it to initialize and everything. And then once it starts to initialize, there it is. It's loading the soundtrack to the RAM. Okay, life is good, and the thing is up and running. Now I had to do this, like I said, in a hacky way to make it, you know, to make it work. It's not going to hurt anything, okay? But it does, you know, it is a little strange how I did it, okay? You know, I mean, because there's a lot of craziness that I had to do within the partition and within the damn folder itself, okay? But as you can see, it all works. Life is grand, okay? Starting up. Here we go. And there's Dragon's Lair, okay? You could set the screen on it too, widescreen, you know, I mean, whatever you want to do, okay? And it all plays, as you can see, okay? And it all works pretty good. In fact, here, what I can do here, wait a minute. Yeah, see? And then you can hit the white button, put the coin in, press the start button, and now you can play it, okay? You're going to use your D-pad and use A for sword, okay? That's the way it works. Cliffhanger also works good. You know, that's hands and feet and all that. So as you can see, yeah, it all works. And if I miss, well, guess what? Die, okay? So anyway, there you go, okay? Now what I'm going to do here, right, is there's a way to exit out of this thing. And, yeah, here we go. I love torturing him. Okay, there's a way to exit out of this thing. You hold in both triggers, and you press the back button and the black button on the controller. And now it'll reset and it'll go back to XBMC. Okay? So, bunch of craziness there. Alright? Works really good, like I said. There's a ton of stuff. Yes, I remember you, Mr. Holmes. I remember you very, very well. In fact, you're still in my database, my friend. Okay? So, as you can see, alright, and it brings it back. And then, you know, you're back at Emunation Station. Alright? Let me show you something here, too. Alright? Nintendo 64, like I said, this is a repack, okay, that Earthworm James did a little while ago. And he did a lot of work to this thing to get it to display the way that it does, okay? Now, tell you what, we'll go down here, do a little bit of Mario Kart right here, okay? Here you go. There we go. There we go, Mario Kart 64. Okay, we'll hit that. Alright, and now Mario Kart will start up. Okay, and then also there's a way to control this emulator too. Alright, so you can change video and all that kind of good stuff as well. Okay, see, it's loading Mario Kart. It's a standalone, it's called Surreal. Okay, and this is version 6.1, I do believe. Okay, and of course, you got to put it on a special way, a certain way for it to find the ROMs and everything else too. That's another one. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. But as you can see, it all plays, and it plays very well. Alright, and start that up. Now, mind you, like I said, this monitor sucks, okay? So, you know, I mean, it's not really, you're not really seeing great graphics because of the simple fact that the monitor sucks. Alright, but anyway, here we go. And we got Mario. And then, yeah, we'll do this. Yep, here we go. Okay? And we start the game. And, you know, Asia gas, so on and so forth. Okay, and your steering's gonna be your left analog stick. And we'll see if we can go with this yet. Here we go. Okay, and off we go. So as you can see, it all works pretty good. Everything works right in the way that it should. So, you know, I'm playing good old Mario Kart for Nintendo 64 on friggin' an Xbox. Okay? Nothing new. Been around for a while, but, you know, hey, listen, it works. Okay? Now, you can press both joysticks in, okay? And as you can see, main menu, load state, save state, video settings, controller settings, you know, reset ROM, quit the ROM list, quit Surreal, shut down the Xbox, okay? So, as you can see, it all works very seamless, all right? Xbox games play equally just as well, all right? And, of course, they're going to be upscaled, okay? So, if you have a good TV set with a good monitor, you're going to have some really good stuff, okay? It's gonna play really good, and the upscaling is really cool, all right? So, this is, no, Antonio, this is for a customer, man, okay? This is for Willis Poe, okay? But anyway, as I was saying, though, you know, I mean, you know, going on, this thing is, I mean, it's crazy. Now, like I said, original Xbox games, okay? Here you go. We'll hit this right here, okay? Like I said, there's 120 games available. You can do, play whatever you want. Let's see here. Tell you what. We can do, let's try, I don't know. Try Midnight Club Dub Edition Remix, okay? I should start, and which it did. Okay, life is grand. And the game's going to start up, and then we'll be playing Midnight Club Dub 3 on this thing. Hopefully. Should, anyway. I would think. Get better. So, as you can see, there you go. Alright, and it plays just fine. Okay? So, like I said, just this TV sucks right now. Okay, you know, I mean, there ain't nothing I can do about that. But, anyway, it does work, and it works just fine, as you can see. Okay? So, there you go. And there's Dub Edition Remix. If you want to get out of this game and go back to the menu, it's real easy. Pull in both triggers, press the back and the black button, back in black, and guess what? It'll reset and you'll go back to Emunation Station. Okay? So, just wanted to give you a little update, Willis, on you know, what, where, how, and who, and what I've done with this thing. Okay, now I got to get back to RGHs, and in the meantime, I'm going to be transferring more stuff to this thing. Okay, you know, because like I said, I built the hard drive from nothing. Okay, you know, I mean, which was like very nerve-wracking. Okay, but anyway, as you can see, a lot of good stuff. You know, it's still one of the best emulation machines out there. I mean, really, well, PC is, you know, I mean, but if you're into the console gen, like this guy was, he sent this thing in. He's like, mod it. Okay, you got it. So I did, you know, I mean, so anyway, there you go. So guys, listen, y'all have a good one. Be safe and everything else, all right? And now I got to get back to doing Xboxes now, regular Xboxes, while I finish loading this thing. Yes, and then, of course, we're going to put some laser edge glass on it, and we're going to put some LEDs in it and do some stuff to it. So, you know, anyway, just to let you know what's going on. So, guys, y'all have a good one. I'll holler at you later. I got Xboxes to build. Talk to y'all later. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.